All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Down goes Texas. Down goes Texas. Texas A&M defeats the Longhorns in volleyball for the first time since 2010, and they hand Texas their first ever SEC loss with a 3-2 instant classic down in Austin. Ben Peck here on the All In Aggies YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, be sure to subscribe. Help us grow this channel because all these athletes across campus, we say it all the time, they all deserve it because they all put in the work and they are all elite level programs, as evidenced by what we witnessed down in Austin. Just to recap, Texas A&M falls closely to Texas in the first set, I believe 27-25, and then 25-14 dominate the second set. The third set, another nail biter, 25-23. You go to the fourth, 25-21, but that doesn't tell the whole story. In that set, A&M had I believe it was an 18-10 lead. It looks like they were cruising once again. And then Madison Skinner and those girls, they do their thing for Texas. You got to give hats off to the Longhorns. They are, listen, I know there's no love lost from the folks from College Station, but just objectively, you have to give it to them. They are the two-time reigning national champions for a reason. Madison Skinner, she like single-handedly pulled that team back in the game. They had, Reagan Rutherford, Nia Bunton was fantastic as well. They pull within, I believe, 1 point at one point in that fourth set. But A&M pulls away 25-21, and then they get off to a hot start in the fifth set. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They fall behind a little bit. They rally. They take the lead. They're up 10-8 in the second set, in the decisive set. Again, 1-15 win by 2. And then Texas goes on another run. They go on a 5-0 run to take a 13-10 lead. And then they get 3 match points. 3 match points, all of them saved by A&M. And then they close it out 18-16, the attacking error to end it. Absolutely phenomenal marquee win for Texas A&M. We saw this last year with the win at Florida, their first ever win at Gainesville for Jamie Morrison and the staff, these ladies, just fantastic. And we're going to go through some of the key contributors in this and some of my big takeaways as I was watching this. I mean, I was glued wall to wall. This could have been A&M LSU football. It could have been men's basketball against Houston in the NCAA tournament. Heck, for that matter, Nebraska A&M in the women's basketball tournament in the first round. This game, if you're invested into it, it had you glued to the screen for good reason. Let's go through some of the top performers, or just the top takeaways, I should say more accurately. This is what I've been saying on this channel, what we want to do. We want to cover every sport on campus because there are playmakers and dogs on all of these teams. Each one of these teams is capable of competing for SEC championships. And if you're good enough to do that, you're probably good enough to compete for a national championship. Logan Lidnicki, let me say that again. Logan Lednicki, she should be, I don't know what the college campus equivalent of a household name is, like a residence hall name, a common area name, whatever you want to call it. She should be that at Texas A&M. She was fantastic per usual. 23 kills on 56 attacks. That's like having 200 pitches in a game. That's going crazy to go through it. And she's, by the way, playing a lot more defensively than she has in the past, earlier in her career. She's a junior. Everyone who has the privilege of living through the Logan Lednicki years should remember it, because she is a special, special player. She's going to leave this school as a legend in the program, and she proves it once again. Only hit, 411 toward the end. She was down in a little under 300 for a little bit there, but she had one point where she swung, got blocked, swung, got blocked. She went 3 or 4 times where it immediately came back to A&M. She goes and gets the point. The grit, the guts. Ava Underwood had some huge digs in that last set, especially some of the decisive points. Just great hustle, great all-around team effort on the defensive side when things got tough. And when the Longhorns got it going, and again, they did. I mean, just flipping over to the other side real quick, we talked about Madison Skinner, 415 hit percentage, 22 kills. So just to give you context, 42 kills, 22 kills on 41 attempts. Logan Lednicki had, the kill percentage was 41% for Logan Lednicki. She hit 161. So that's what I'm saying. She was up against it today. And you got to give the front line of Texas a lot of credit for that. But they just kept hammering away and hammering away. And the resiliency of this team to do that on the road in a hostile environment when Gregory Gem is going crazy is unbelievable. 3-2, and the difference from a 3-2 win on the road over your rivals compared to a narrow loss, that is monumental. Like, in terms of just what you take away from that game, there are no moral victories in any sport, but especially volleyball. I mean, that was massive. A couple other shout outs I want to give. Athena Casapala. I mean, listen, I've never gotten blocked on an app in a way so brutal that I see Athena Casapala reject people at the net sometimes. I wish that on no one. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. She is unbelievable what her and Morgan Perkins provide at the front of the net, middle blockers. They have been invaluable. How about another little fun shout out? Ellie Stenson coming in when you need points on your service game to extend the match, and she delivers with a couple huge serves. She wasn't on the court for so many points. Like she wasn't out there on the court all night long, but when she came in and when her number was called upon, she delivered. Huge shout out to her. Ital Lapuyo. I mean, it's my fault, Ital. I can never pronounce it properly, but she's been fantastic. Like, she came in and she had in that fourth set when she came in, she finishes with 6 kills on 15 swings. She had one point where she had like 5 kills on 8 attacks, and like the 3 that weren't kills, they weren't blocked. They were like dug out on impressive defensive stands from Texas. So, I mean, she came in, was a huge change up and providing the depth that we've seen with this team that has been different in years past and has continued to get better under Jamie Morrison. You know, Emily Helmuth has been phenomenal all season. She gets 15 kills on 41 attacks, so 73%. You know, Athena Casapala, 364 hitting percentage. Lapuyo, 333. Morgan Perkins, your middle blockers, pretty good as you would expect, 375. And then Maddie Walk, of course, you know, setting up all of her teammates with great setting throughout the night, especially when they needed it. She had some good serves as well. This was just a huge character win for Texas A&M volleyball. And again, they hand Texas their first ever loss as a member of the SEC. And they do it with grit, determination, resiliency. And, you know, it almost felt like for a second with how decisively they won the second and the fourth set and how close the first and third set was, and then ended up being the fifth set. It almost was going to feel like you played 5 innings of baseball. You loaded the bases in the second and the fourth inning, and you came away with 1 run. And then the other team just hit a solo shot, and you lose the game 3-2. Like, that's how it was going to feel. Not to say like A&M dominated throughout the game. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying in terms of how dominant they were, especially early in that fourth set before that run from Texas, and in that second set, and then just a squeaker in the first and the third set that they dropped. And then to have a little bit of an edge in that fifth set after you battled back, you fell behind, you battled back, and then you're on your heels again as it appears. But no, you're not, because, again, Logan Lednicki to the rescue. I'm going to say it again because I might try to clip this and save it. You know, Logan Lednicki, she should be the college campus equivalent of a household name. You should know about her. You should know about Athena Casapala. You should know about all these fantastic ladies, all these fantastic athletes across campus, just the same way you should know about Nicole Kieran because she clinched a national championship for women's tennis, the same way you should know about Adela Cernusic because she's an NCAA individual champion, women's golf. You know, Ahmad Robinson, the anchor of the 4x4 national championship team. I could go on and on and on, but my point is these athletes on these campuses and all these different programs are doing phenomenal things. And whether they have 100,000 people in the stands or tens of thousands or, just 1,000 or so, like, we should pay them the respect that they deserve because they are all capable of phenomenal stuff. Again, A&M gets the win 3-2. I had my whole show ready to go. I was going to talk a little bit about Connor Wigman. I was going to talk about men's basketball. We talked to them today. And I went and I'm like, before I do that, big match. Let's see how this Texas volleyball match plays out. Let me hold off to see if A&M can do something really special here and just give these ladies their due. We haven't been there enough. I've been kind of out of town, unfortunately, the last couple of times they've been at home. So I've missed them. We've been like passing in the wind. Hopefully going to get out to some as they close up their season at home more often. But the other thing I'll say is this is sort of the trajectory of a program that Jamie Morrison, if I'm not mistaken, said recently at one of his press conferences where he talks to us every week or just about every week. He said, I think if things break the right way, I could see this team competing realistically for a Final Four spot. This win was one of those wins that proves it, that they can beat anybody in the country on their day. Now, you have to do that, and it's easier said than done. And you got to, and by the way, A&M had plenty of mistakes. And that fifth set, what made it so gut-wrenching too, is they had a couple toward the end there when Texas was making their run where they just had mental lapses. And, they set a ball that just fell to the ground. They had Texas scrambling and then they get it back over and then no one picks it up. Like they had moments where you said, man, that's going to eat at them if they don't come away with this. But they did. They found a way. I got so excited, I forgot to even show you. I cut all this up, and I wanted to take a look at this as we were going through. Again, here's some of the highlights playing. 3-2 win for Texas A&M, and now they improve. As that goes, I'm going to try to look up some more background information. Again, trying to get this out as quickly as possible. I meant to play this video like at the beginning of the video, but I got so amped and wrapped up in everything I was going to say to where got a little distracted. You'll forgive me. Okay, big win. A&M improves to 13-3. I want 14-4, 5-3 in the conference with the win over Texas. And again, this is also after a loss at home where you had nearly 10,000 people packing Reed Arena. Okay, so that's another thing you want to talk about, the trajectory, the trend of where this program is going and the fan support. Just look at that. Okay, they're going to have a lot coming back next year. They're going to be able to bring in some good talent. They have a lot of good talent. Okay, if Pentecost Paula, like I said, she's one of the best middle blockers in the country. Logan Lednicki, I'd put her up against anybody. Okay, like I wouldn't trade her for anybody. I'll put it that way. There's some good players out there. I mean, we saw one, Madison Skinner, here tonight, but and some others, Reagan Rutherford. But A&M, they find a way. Look how beautiful this is. They get the win. Versatility. They have plays like this. That's exactly the type of play I'm talking about. You get denied at first, but you keep going, hammering away, and all the credit in the world, Jamie Morrison and his staff, his ladies, as A&M gets the win over the Longhorns in Austin in front of a sold-out crowd, per usual, a tight, compact venue, and they come back to College Station with the victory. So congratulations to those ladies. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, let us know if you watched along, your takeaways from this, and be sure to subscribe for more Texas A&M content on every sport on campus. Every sport on campus: football, basketball, baseball, softball, track, tennis, track and field, volleyball, soccer, you name it. We are going to let you know about Aggies that are doing something if they do it. All right. Thank you so much. Ben Peck here on the All In Aggies YouTube channel, part of the All In Sports Network, Rogue Sports Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.